beautiful people, I hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be discussing hair growth or hair retention. This is an ever-growing subject within the Black community because we struggle to retain as much length as the average, and we all know that the average hair growth per year is 6 inches, which is equivalent to 15 centimeters roughly per year. From my own situation, I do actually struggle to meet the 6 inches per year, but I'm going to show you or provide you with tips and tricks on how I got from here to here. So if you're interested, please stay tuned. I do have to mention that the tips and tricks that I will be providing you in this video are in no particular order. So yeah, let's get to the video. So number one, you need clean scalp. Take the example of you wanting to plant a seed. You want to make sure that the soil is as healthy as possible, because if you plant the seed in a soil that isn't full of nutrients, then your produce is less likely to be 100%. So let's take the example back to your hair. If your scalp is not clean, if it's full with germs, then your hair is less likely to grow out to its full capacity, because you need a very clean scalp for you to grow out your hair in the first place. Okay, if bacteria is growing on your scalp, then of course the bacteria is going to eat into your scalp as well as your hair, and that way you will not retain any length. So your hair is growing out at the same rate that it's breaking off, so you're less likely to see any length in the first place. That way you have the so-called stunted growth. So this is what I would usually use on my scalp to make sure that I'm getting as much dirt as possible out of my scalp. So number two, you want to co-wash and or shampoo your hair, and you want to make sure that you're not using shampoos with sulfates in it, because these actually dry out your hair, and you know that black hair needs a lot of moisture in it, so you want to refrain from shampoos that do have sulfates in them. Number three, you want to make sure that you detangle your hair whenever you co-wash and or shampoo your hair. This will eliminate the buildup of fairy nuts, which literally indicates that you will be losing your ends or your hair in general if you do not detangle when you eventually get to styling your hair. Number four, you want to make sure that you're moisturizing and sealing your hair. You all know that African hair is very brittle and very dry, so you want to make sure that you're spritzing your hair with water, with an essential oil, olive oil and water, or coconut oil, whichever one you do decide. Just do make sure that you moisturize your hair and keep it sealed so that the moisture doesn't evaporate as quickly as you apply it to your hair. Number five is a no-brainer. Okay, you want to make sure that you're doing protective styling. It could be either wigs or high buns or braids. Just make sure that your hair is protected from the elements, especially during the winter months. And in my own case, I do wear wigs most of the time, with my hair cornrowed and the nape of my hair braided separately from my actual hair to protect it from whatever wear and tear that will happen. When you're braiding your hair, you just make sure that you leave your nape hair out of the main braiding itself, and you braid your nape hair separately from your main head. I feel like when I do that to my hair, especially my nape hair, they do thrive separately from me braiding my hair all together. This is a follow-up to protective styling. The more you style your hair or play in your hair, the less likely you are to retain length. So you want a hairstyle that will require low manipulation. You want to make sure that you cover your hair at night, and if you are one of those people that will literally find your scarf near your feet the following morning, then it will be best for you to get a silk pillowcase to support your head if for any reason your scarf decides to take a walk at night. But the main thing is for you to protect your hair against friction whilst you sleep at night. You want to also make sure that you're trimming your ends. Your ends are the oldest part of your hair. They're brittle and they're weak, and the more you trim your hair, I'm not too sure how often you should trim your hair, but I do mine twice every year, so once every 6 months. But the more you trim your hair, the more likely you are to retain length because you're getting rid of your weak ends. The use of heat in your hair actually increases the chances of you damaging your hair even further. So eliminating heat completely or just minimizing how much heat you use on your hair will allow you retain as much hair length as possible. This tip is one tip I have always been using for the past 2 years for my nape hair. I've also been using it for my scalp in general, but it's mostly been for my nape hair, since as my nape hair I feel is a bit more fragile than my hair in general. And the tip is that you've got to massage your scalp as often as possible to increase the blood flow and the blood circulation around. Increased blood flow will allow more nutrients to get to your hair strands and make them grow even healthier. That's it for today. If you do have any questions, comments, opinions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments box down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, as well as clicking on the notification bell so you can get notified as to when I upload new videos. And until my next video, I'm wishing you all a wonderful new year. Bye!